Hi guys, my name is Jason and I am the CEO of Payclub and this is my co-founder Alex and we're building a collaborative bank for Gen Z. Banking has always been about community. It's always been about proximity. The 11,000 depository banks and credit unions basically brought on users because of the neighborhood. Your parents brought you into your account or you went to college and on the first day they advertised that collegiate account. And things are changing. 49% of Americans today have their bank in their phone. And with that change, in the next 5 years, it's expected that almost every American will have a bank in their phone. And that means it's no longer about your local community. It's now about personalization. How do the feature sets for that bank specifically impact me? Not the 500 features of when I'm in college or I'm specifically a younger person. I don't need those 500 different options. And for Gen Z, this is a problem. Today, 65% of Gen Z does not have their own direct banking relationship. What does that mean? It means that they're still on their parents' account or they don't have a bank account at all. And that's a problem. It's a problem because 40% of Americans by 2020, 40% of Americans will, and when it comes to those Gen Z users, essentially what happens is they're about to have $212 billion in discretionary spending. Now, let's take a moment to understand. For Gen Z, most of their transactions are done within some type of a group atmosphere. So that means they're doing it within their roommates or relationships or clubs or organizations. And so when we think about this, today they're using this disparate system. So they have multiple accounts, multiple peer-to-peer, Excel, you name it. And so that's where we come in. We're building the first shared accounts. That means you can easily create an account, have Dropbox-like controls over those accounts, and being able to dispose of them when you're done. Let me show you how this works. So here we're seeing all of our shared accounts. We can create these again for any reason. When we click on the top left, we can see my personal profile. It's a nice putum. You can see all the different banks. So you can connect it through Plaid. I can share this out with friends. I can see any messages. When we go back, let's create our first account. So we're going to create an account for Finovate. Now, when we're creating this account, think about the different nuances for a college student. They have multiple. So when you're thinking about roommates, for example, at University of Alabama, there's a 19-year-old student that has to collect from 20, 30 people. Every single year, someone new creates an account to manage these different expenses. Or maybe it's you creating an account with your significant other. Right now, it's harder to be able to create that account than just simply move in with them. And so we avoid these transactions. But if we can make it super simple to create this account, it makes it an easier process. So here we're going to charge. So we're going to press on the bottom left. Right now we have our trip. So we're doing our dinner. We're going to charge $52. Okay? And so now it's $52 a person. But actually, we want to split this account. So we're going to have it split. But you know what? Alex, he didn't show up to dinner, so we're going to take him off. We're going to also take off Brandon, or we can add them back. Or when it comes to Brandon, that guy, he didn't really get too much food, so we're going to charge him only $10. We can change and make this malleable, so we can request the money from Brandon. So when we're making these transactions, we make it very easy for them to be able to collect those money. And each of these accounts will essentially be able to have all of these different virtual cards, so I can spend that money as we take it in. So now you can see this transaction just came in. And we can see in the activity feed as those payments are coming through. And we can see that right now, no one is paid, but we can also edit those charges. So after it's come in, that bill is changing, we can make the edits. And all that money is being held specifically in that group. Now, let's go to another account. So we can show an actual group in use. This is a group at USC right now that uses it to collect money. So every single month, this group is collecting. And again, these are large sums of money. So these groups are collecting for rent, for their utilities, and before the process was Apple Notes. They couldn't use their Venmo accounts or peer-to-peer because the transactions are too large. And so we've solved this major problem, which allows us to onboard users and really provide a better service for them. Now, when you're thinking about how these college students basically operate. Today, when we launched, we're now on 4 campuses. So we have 6,500 accounts, just under $1 million in transactional volume. And for those pilots, we wanted to learn as much as we could about those users. But what makes us very unique is my background. Previous to this, I was the first employee at what's now the largest collegiate travel company in the US. And that company traveled 500,000 college students while I was sales director. And we understood how to undercut our competitors and get into the market easier and faster than many of these other companies and provide better solutions. We listened to those users and we built a platform that they love to use. And so we're here for 2 reasons. One, if you're an angel investor or early stage investor and you'd like to get involved, please come speak to me in the back. 2, if you're a banking partnership and you're looking to get access to college students, you're looking to provide a new service, feel free to come up to me again in the back. Thank you.